What's up, everybody? First hot topic we're going to discuss is overtraining. First and foremost, I'm not a doctor. These are my opinions based on the research that I've done, the people that I've talked to, doctors, trainers, and my personal experience. So if you want to argue with me, if you disagree with me, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and this is mine. So, overtraining. It's not a thing. And end of the video. I'm just kidding. It's not a thing. Training in and of itself is an umbrella term to be used to cover the building blocks that make that up. So, for example, your building blocks of training should be a few things like, yes, gym time. If your goal is to be, we're going to use bodybuilder, okay, as an example. Their training consists of fundamentals or foundation building blocks. Gym time, so lifting weights, and many other things that aren't taken into account. For example, hydration, rest, recovery, their meal plans. All of those things are building blocks that make up their training that is supposed to equal to the outcome, which is success of bodybuilding. There is no room for overtraining when you have all of your building blocks and they are in the correct form. So when somebody says, hey, I'm tired, or my muscles are sore, or I hurt myself, or I feel dehydrated, so I must be overtraining. No, it means that you didn't eat enough, or you haven't had enough water yet, or maybe you were supposed to do a deload week compared to a heavy week, or maybe you were supposed to do more time under tension. Knowing what you should be doing building block wise is going to be equal to what success outcome you want. If you don't have those set up, then that's not training. So there's room for mistakes. There's room for dehydration. There's room for under eating. There's room for injury. There's room for not sleeping enough. That's why you take one of those fundamental building blocks and you put them back in alignment, and all of a sudden you're back on track to equal your success. Overtraining is not a thing. It is a word that was made up and misused because somebody thought that they did something, and so they go, oh, I must have overtrained. No, you may not have had enough water for that workout session, so you became dehydrated. So now something hurts. Or maybe you didn't eat enough, and so then at that point, something else happens. Everything is a chain reaction to something else. So if your building blocks, again, using the example of a bodybuilder, is to look good on stage and win, your building blocks should be those things: hydration, rest, recovery, eating, working out. You do those things, and they're all done correctly in the right order with the right coach to tell you what your meal plan should be and what your workout should be and how much water you should have and how much rest you should be getting and what type of recovery you're supposed to have. When you do those things, there's no room for quote-unquote overtraining. There's only room for success. But when you have somebody coaching you and they say, hey, you didn't get enough water today, you need to drink more, or maybe your carbs are too high or too low, or maybe your fats are too high or too low, or maybe you didn't get enough recovery, or maybe you need to sleep a little bit more. Those are the things that you need to pay attention to. Those are going to be the things that equal your training being correct. That's when you have all of your blocks in a row, there's no overtraining. That's not a thing. Throw it out. Make sure that your foundations for what your goals and what your success is going to be, make sure that your building blocks are in line and you'll be fine. That's it. It's that simple. There's no such thing as overtraining. There's not when you're doing it correctly. So you must be doing it incorrectly. Something must be off if you think that something happened and you're going to name it overtraining. I'm going to name it what it is. Haven't had enough water, didn't eat correctly, didn't train correctly, didn't rest correctly, didn't recover correctly. That's what I'm going to call it. We can also call it the truth, not making up words. That's it. There you go. Video. I don't believe in overtraining.